To pull out, yeah, pull out. Definitely pull your wand out. Always pull out, guys. You know what? It's actually safer. Just don't even put in. Just stay pulled out. Still heavy at 9 points. Nice. You're gonna get in there. Don't worry. We'll get you in there. All right. So we're gonna start with Bean. Bean, do you know what you? I mean.
Tab, hello? My dear guitar, hello? Let's see if this one does double audio too. It probably will.
Nice mask and voice. I'm just gonna talk like this. Come.
Was he Batman enough for you?
Welcome to It's Many Masks, and an artist totally here on their own accord. Masks, and featuring
_Killa_koala_.
now to It's Many Masks.
Audio is absolutely hating me today. It doubled up at the beginning there, and then I had to like manually go through that one. Hello. Hello. As someone that's sad, establishing shots angers me. Hello. How does the establishing shots anger you? Oh, due to the traffic. Look at this little guy over here. Look at this little guy. Oh no, something's covered. It's going. How are you? And let me tell you, this was the stinkiest get of anybody. Cramming this little pink guy into a van. Are you kidding me? I had to pay extra. Those. Yeah, I wasn't gonna have you stain the floor by being on the floor there. That would have been horrendous. Lala, hello, Fiorni. Yeah, go. That seems like more work. I was already, you know what? Your tree budget went away with like the pickup budget, with like the transport budget. Then that was where that went away. I don't hear Koala. Bean doesn't hear you.
Bean?
Maybe you're
Bean
back
doesn't
now.
hear me?
Now maybe Koala's back. He's bitter. He's a biter. I'm amazed no one else has tried to fight back. There you go. Nobody heard anything you just said. It's perfect.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. The audio has been weird for me, and not streaming consistently makes it harder to figure out when I'm doing it at the last minute, but as long as everybody can hear you now, I think we're good.
It's okay if they don't hear me.
It'll just
make for an interesting interview. Yeah.
It'll just be me talking to you, and then them hearing me, and then it just, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly.
The entire time.
Koalas don't normally have a very strong voice in the wilderness.
Bean says you should be seen and not heard. It's kind of mean, Bean. Jeez.
Just
Anyone like that, yeah. It's a one-sided interview. I'm here today with Killa Koala. If you don't already know, Killa Koala is an amazing artist. They are a curmudgeon. They're fun to mess with because they enjoy it. So it's the Killa. There was a chat command that I made that like gave you all of Koala's info, and it fucking blew up my entire chat continually because StreamerBot apparently changed too. So give Koala a follow. It's the same name, Killa_Koala_ on Instagram and the here on the Twitch. I almost said TikTok, but you don't have a TikTok because you're an old man.
Yeah, I'm an old koala. I'm like 6,000 years old. That new technology stuff is hard.
I have your dossier. I think it says like ageless for your age.
Pretty much. I'm beyond anyone's age.
Beyond, yeah. You're what listening to like more D&D and I'm sure Baldur's Gate. What race has like a crazy lifespan? Is it the dwarves? That like 80 is like a teenager.
I know elves typically they're like 300 years old or something like that. Like naturally. They like outlive a lot of their friends.
The Lord of the Rings thing was like she was in love with a human and then like he'd be dead in like half of her lifetime, if not more or less.
What a great television show.
Elves age like I didn't see the television show. I only saw the movies.
Oh man. The show went into it quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good in a good way or in a bad way?
No, it's not that good. Visually, it's a nice looking show. Story wise, it's just like blech.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. With all the random sound nonsense, I'm pointing at the wrong camera. With all the random sound nonsense, anybody in the chat, let me know if things sound weird. I can fix it. But in that, we'll get to the questions for this here little guy. What eucalyptus-inspired moments have guided your journey as an artist?
Oh shoot, eucalyptus-inspired moments. I can't say that I've done a lot of art on like psychedelics.
If you
I mean,
haven't, so all of these questions are going to be koala related, and it's almost like you have to figure out what the question is actually asking in
Yeah.
most of them. But so what moments have guided your journey as an artist, like the style you like to do?
I mean, I was really into comic books growing up as a kid, like really, really, really into comic books.
Mhm.
So a lot of those artists influenced me, and I think a lot of people can see it in my line work. It's very like structured and hard. I want you to be able to read it from like a book cover or like an inside page kind of standpoint. But yeah,
Gotcha.
comic books are a huge one. But
Which I think also it's the perfect segue into this guy. You can kind of see that style here with like the heavy lines. And you guys can own the shirt too. The link is the one thing that worked today in the chat. So
perfect.
yeah, you can see that in like your boldness, almost like a, was it Art Nouveau-esque style?
Yeah,
Would that
I
be a
guess
fair
so.
assumption?
I mean, I get that a lot, and I'm always like, what does that even mean? But
It's
I
like
do get that a lot.
the old like cigarette packs that have like the women with like the super wavy hair and the thick outline around it, and like the kind of like dream-esque kind of thing to it, where you go, I think, like a little bit heavier than that style. So it's like a post Art Nouveau style.
Yeah, digital art has definitely changed how I do a lot of my art because I was a traditional artist for such a long time. So
How long do you have you always been doing art? Have you like found it recently? Did you like do traditional, decide you wanted to do digital, and then kind of jump into that right away?
yeah, I can't really remember a time that I wasn't doing art. It was pretty much like from 5 years old. I had a few, like me and my one cousin were always very artistic people. And it seems to like be a generational thing in my family. All of my kind of cousins of this generation are all artists in their own rights. But yeah, we just always, it was our fun thing to do, was like watch a movie and then draw what we saw. So that started with like Jurassic Park. Just
That's
drawing
like, so
dinosaurs.
that's like a common question I asked. Like the first thing you remember drawing, it was dinosaurs? Right?
Dinosaurs, yeah.
Yeah.
Just having those good old 90s dinosaur books and just trying to draw everything you saw in them.
Like crazy sharp teeth and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of just led into monsters and goofiness, and here we are.
I like that Lindsay came in and yelled, "Hello, I'm at work. Hope you guys are behaving yourselves." All caps too.
Yeah.
Squid Tree,
A lot
hello. Jam,
yeah.
hello. Lala.
We've got a lot of great names in here. Lala, Saint Ursa.
Saint Ursa. Ooh, there's a sneaky Ursa. Ursa, I heard you're sick. Feel better.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have let Koala cough in your face. That's what it comes down to.
I'm still kind of getting over the cold. I still got a lot of phlegm in my nose. Sounds nice and boogery for you.
If your art were a blend of gum leaves and rainbows, what scent would it have and why?
Ooh.
What's your art stink like?
I mean, I like to think that it's like lemons and sage and, but it's probably a lot more muskier than that. Like, we're talking some like ass sweat in there, probably,
It's like, is that cinnamon or shit? What am I getting here? What is that? It's like that big red gum smell where you're like not sure. It kind of borders on that line.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There's some sort of funk, but definitely like some lemon scent in there.
Have you ever experienced synesthesia? Have you?
Synesthesia?
Yeah.
Which one is that again?
Synesthesia is the one where like your senses kind of blend over top of each other. So like people
taste colors and
taste colors, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that intense that way. Like I would say like ASMR kind of falls into that a little bit, where you're like getting a feeling from a sound.
Yeah, definitely with like music for sure.
Mhm.
Music has always been a big influence to me. But like especially when it comes to like movie scores for some reason, I like can just hear a few notes and just instantly like pop into a movie. It's kind of weird.
Hmm. Yeah, it was interesting because you said lemon, and that was like such a random other scent there that it was.
No,
I was curious.
that's just a little bit of like my OCD. That's like, oh, lemon is just
Mhm.
fresh and like clean to me.
Hmm.
It's a pleasant smell. Maybe a little bit of bleach in there too.
Just a little chlorine, something in your nose. You're not sure what it is. As
Yeah.
long as it's not like ammonia, get that like weird cat pee smell.
Jesus, it's Old Spice. Okay, well, Ursa now just calling me out. They're giving me the real answers.
The Old Spice. Ursa is koala an axe guy.
No, not Axe. I prefer the stick, but there's some times where it's like, ah, my clothes doesn't smell as great as it could be. So
Eh,
here's a little bit of squirt of body spray, but not big on it because I'm also like adverse. I'm a little bit allergic to perfumes and stuff, so
hmm.
scents that are too strong
What
fuck
would
me up.
your if you could make one and have like a signature smell that wasn't terrible?
Oh,
Preface
that
it with
wasn't terrible. Damn, I
not
was gonna be like,
terrible.
oh
You're gonna be,
shit.
I'm gonna smell like shit and piss. It's like
That would
no.
just be hilarious though if one of them was like just filled with fart and someone's in a store to sample it and just sprays it on
Just
them.
see, ugh.
Yeah.
What you
Um,
call it like not fart?
yeah, again, I actually do like ironically like eucalyptus smells.
Mhm.
I
I
guess
don't
not
think it's
ironically, I'm a
yeah, it wouldn't be
koala,
ironic. Yeah, you'd be.
but I'm one of those dudes that puts likes the eucalyptus leaves and eucalyptus smells, especially when you're in like a shower.
You have
Like
like the. Are you one of the people that put like eucalyptus branches in your shower so that
yeah,
like when it heats
actually
up? Yeah.
the person in the chat, Ursa, they're the ones that does that. But I think it's for me.
Yeah.
I
But
think
if
it's
you
because
enjoy it, then it's definitely for you.
no, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have a friend that does that, and I'd never even thought to do that. And whenever I was staying at their house, and I got in the shower, I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Hey, what is this green? Is this eucalyptus?"
Just drying out some leaves, you know.
Yeah, they're like,
It's a
"Yeah,
fun
it's
smoke.
worms," and they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, "I guess this is more common," and then I'm just unaware of it. Tats your favorite stink. Yeah, that's it. Is eucalyptus. My phone is
Oh, yeah.
bothering me in my pocket. So that it
Oh, yeah.
smells play a big part in what koala does.
Well, I mean, it's become a big part of me, I guess. I
It
don't even know where this stinky thing started. I think it was Bean
yeah,
and Lindsay just being trolls,
yeah.
and now I'm just the stinkiest
Now you're
person on.
forever labeled the stinkiest on Twitch.
Yeah. I also am proud of my farts, so I'll own it. If I fart on stream today, I'll tell you.
I will let you know that a fart came out. I was gonna say square, but that's wombats, not koalas. Wombats do like the square poops.
I think there's a few. There's another one that does square poops. There's another
don't-
marsupial or something. But
Yeah, this is just like they have a square rectum or something like that. That was what was determined to cause their square
that's
poops.
that's strange. That's a strange ability.
One superpower I wish I could have is to make all of my poops square.
I
Just
want
like
little Lego blocks.
little bricks. I would never flush the toilet in public bathrooms. You just let it sit and have people come in and be like, "What the fuck is this? Is somebody Play-Doh their poop?"
Okay, hear me out. What if you pooped different Tetris pieces?
Different tetra like so you would fill the toilet.
Yeah,
You'd have
exactly.
like little like plop plop, and you could like change the shape as they came out.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah, I guess reserve a shape is a big move in Tetris now.
It's just like, oh, sorry, I had to go to the hospital for an impacted colon. I reserved too many shapes. What?
Square rectum. Yeah, remix. It's what you get.
Yeah, you know what was gonna happen. Why you even pretend that that's surprising to you? In the least. What's the most amusing "G'day, mate" encounter you've had with a fellow artist or art enthusiast?
Huh. That's a hard one. The most amusing. I mean, I've had a lot of like really fun times with the artists here on Twitch. Can't say that I've had any like groundbreaking ones in person, but
you do commissions and stuff, correct? Like you do some like freelance stuff. So in doing freelance, have you experienced like unusual, like I would say unusual in that like it wasn't a reaction that you expected?
I mean, I'm always kind of like thrown off when people are like, can you change this for like the third time? That's the big one for me, because I'm just like, why did you commission me?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm what you wanted, and now we've just wasted both our times.
Oh no.
But I mean, besides the odd like Instagram, hey, can you draw my dog fake post type thing,
I get those. And I don't post art on Instagram that would lead anybody to believe that I would be able to draw their dog.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit I'm a bit of a troll. I'm very much like open to saying what exactly me. But like on a lot of platforms as well. I like to say what I mean sometimes. So I've gotten the interactions where people just like come to your page and instantly are like, this is shit. Look at this anime. You draw anime and you think you can talk? It's like, whoa. So because I have a skill or talent, I'm not allowed to comment on anything else besides that skill or talent?
Nope, that's
like,
it. You pigeonhole
that's
directly
exactly.
into the one thing that you do, and don't you step over that line.
I'm only cartoon guy. 30-year-old guy drawing cartoon.
Ursa says, can you make my friend's boobs bigger in the art commission I commissioned for her?
Oh yeah,
make
that's
those
true.
Boobs bigger.
Yeah, that was a weird commission. But so I had a guy commission me to draw 3 girls that were his friends, and he wanted them in a very like kind of not like sexual, but like kind of kawaii kind of poses, and like was just like on the one like, please make those boobs much bigger. It's just like, wait, what?
On this one in particular, I need you to up that cup size.
Yeah, I mean, they were a little heavier set, so I could see like maybe I kind of made them look, he wanted it genuine. So I started being like, this is a little strange. Like, am I drawing real people for someone that's just like kind of being a pervert about it?
Yeah, being weird.
But
without them knowing.
But one of those girls reached out to me and used that picture as their profile picture and everything, and was like, no, these are great. And even like suggested another person to me, so I was just like, oh shit, okay.
Well, that's good, at least that you're not.
This is clearly a tight-knit friend group.
Yeah.
But it's always a little weird when someone asks you to draw someone that they know, family or friend, right?
Yeah.
Because you're always like,
you're not.
What if I do them wrong.
Yeah, at what point are you doing like a caricature, and like how much do you keep of like, do you find that as a thing when you're drawing, like somebody says I want this like realistically drawn, like I would say like you do realistic looking characters, but I wouldn't say what I've seen is realism.
Yeah, no, I try to be like very forward with people that like I kind of come from a comic book background, so it's gonna be like in between that level of like comic book and anime. That's predominantly what I've drawn, and that's the easiest for me to stylize people into. So They're not always going to be realistic, but hopefully you can capture a few of the features.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it's their ginormous boobs.
Sometimes you just gotta make them bigger boobs. If you're not seeing your friends naked, are you really even friends? Is all I'm saying.
They were all fully clothed, though. They were all fully clothed.
My point still stands. Withdraw any beloved friend or family member. Bigger boobs guaranteed. That's a Riles guarantee. So you need a photo for a funeral of your great-great-great-grandmother. Koala will give her big old titties for you.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Comic book style dead grandma with bigger boobs. That would be a strange commission.
That needs to be an actual commission, though. Like, this brush has a relax thing, and I don't think it does anything. I think it just says relax, and it just like pretends to work.
Which program is that?
This is Nomad. Nomad's
That's
called.
on the iPad?
Yeah,
Right?
on the iPad.
Yeah, I think I downloaded that and had no clue what the tools were.
It's interesting. It does some weird stuff that like other programs that are graphic related don't do. But oh cool, so the ad break, I had something pop up on my computer. I'm like, what the fuck is that? We're in an ad break, and it's only visible to me. I wish that it was on the other screen though. Let me move this.
Yeah, now
So-
they tell you. They give you that good old warning every time.
The only thing is it was on a screen that I'm not using, so
Perfect.
yeah, it is super useful. By that I mean not at all. I'm just gonna ignore it then. It would be nice to get that set up eventually. Let's see. If your art had a signature dance move, what would it look like? And can you show it? You can't show it because you're a little animated guy.
Yeah, I can't show you well, maybe it's just me kicking my leg. It's exactly this. No. It would be like it would be the typical like white boy move hip and point. Like, you know, when they just point in different directions?
Like a like disco style?
Yeah, almost, but just like, you know, kind of elbows to your hip side and just pointing out and pointing in directions, almost like you're just poking a bunch of like pieces of jello.
Poking a bunch of pieces of jello.
Yeah. It's where they like don't move their feet and they just kind of stand in one position, fingers back and forth.
Wave back and forth. Let me see. I'll try to actually do it in 1 second. I'm trying to fix everything went weird. So we're getting just your little kickies.
Yeah, look at these legs go. This is how you dance, guys. Just like this. Just tap your toes.
Cool. Let's see. There we go. We're out of the ads now. That's convenient
Perfect.
for me to be able to see though, so that I can like know that people aren't hearing what we're saying.
Yeah, sometimes they even let you snooze it, which is nice.
There's
Snooze that ad.
Yeah, there's an option as one of the features. So your dance was just like
No, just keep your fingers pointed out.
both.
Yeah, both fingers just out, and then just kind of like wiggle them back and forth and wiggle your hips. Just wave your arms into your hips and out. Perfect. Yeah, you nailed it.
The koala
That's
dance.
Exactly.
The koala
You could
dance.
literally do this dance to any genre of music. You could do it to classical, metal. You'll get looks at metal shows for it, but like, own it. Yeah, exactly. Just the dad dance.
Get daddy with it. Can you share an artistic adventure that's been as exciting as climbing a eucalyptus tree?
An adventure? This one
Yes.
time I got sucked into a board game. It was pretty interesting.
Jumanji style?
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Robin Williams was even there. It was pretty interesting.
What are you talking about right now?
You know, I don't really have many. I'm still trying to like develop this art persona.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, Twitch has been a big part of it, even though I've been doing less and less art and more Baldur's Gate.
Just all Baldur's Gate.
But
What class are you in Baldur's Gate? I haven't caught any of them.
I'm a good old Ranger Beastmaster.
I've seen that it has a insane amount of like depth to the game that like I wasn't expecting. You can like throw boots at people to do damage and shit like that.
Yeah, you can improvise weapons just like in D&D.
Mhm.
I mean, there's been some interesting ones. People just like romancing their enemies. It's pretty clever. It's a clever game.
Yeah.
There's definitely some like weird glitches and bugs here and there, but like nothing game breaking.
It sounds like a good time. I'm going to be doing the same when Starfield comes out, so I will be a Starfield occasional art streamer when when that comes out.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see all the planets.
It's really hard. It's really hard to balance, like, because art for me has always been more of a hobby, especially like growing up. It's just a hobby. It's a thing you do to release that creative energy. So like it goes in line with doing other things, like for some people sports or exercise, but like yeah, video games too. And it's like, how do I balance? I want to play video games so I can continue to be creative and have creative juice, but
It's
I also just need
like
to get
recharge for you then, like gaming, and then like, oh, that was cool, I should draw that. And then,
yeah, exactly.
Mixie's favorite dance is internally screaming while sitting in a corner and trying not to die of anxiety. It seems about par for 2023, if I'm honest.
Yeah, or any of the years prior to that.
Yeah, right. All of the anything past probably 2017 is it's rough times. My PC probably won't be able to run it. Starfield or at the new, you could probably downgrade the settings. My partner was trying to see if they could get Baldur's Gate and get it to work on their computer, and it's an all-in-one, like one of those, they bought it just for college. It wasn't for anything but like typing papers. And I was like, it might, and a few sites were like, no way in hell.
No way, yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, it's got an integrated CPU, GPU, and just that alone negated it. So,
I mean, definitely could have tried. It probably, like, it would be interesting to like put it on ultra and just see if it explodes.
Just watch it shut down.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend, one of the guys that I lived with right out of college. He had like a very old laptop, and he played like all of the Diablos, like from the first one, and I think 2 came out, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna see if it'll run, and it would spool up. He could start doing stuff, and then once it got too many dead bodies or enemies on the screen, you just hear zzz, and his computer would shut down. It was just like this, the fans overclock everything, and just like, nope, I'm done.
That's hilarious.
What koala-like resilience do you employ to overcome challenges in your artistic pursuits?
Oh, that's actually a great question, because like if you're actually referring to my like qualifications as a koala, definitely the smooth brain part of it goes hand in hand. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's good to play dumb. It really is. It like letting people feed you ideas or explain things to you is maybe a good way to learn.
So underestimating, you like to be underestimated?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Like again, it's like in every aspect, right? Like you can learn more from people when you give them the space to kind of explain. But also when you're trying to like pick someone's brain for like, let's say a commission, it's good to be like, no, I don't know anything. you want me to paint a picture, but that picture's in your head, right? I think tattoo artists will kind of go with that as well, because it's very much like, I'm putting this on your body forever. Like, I'm going to play dumb.
I feel like I annoy my tattoo artist with that, because I don't give like any, like, I'm trying to fill this space. If it was an animal, that's cool. If it was like a weapon, that's cool. And that's it.
There's a tattoo artist on TikTok and Instagram now that literally has that like kind of attitude where everyone comes at him not knowing anything about art or anything, so he just goes, what do you want, and just like takes a Sharpie and just draws a squiggle, and they're like, seriously, that's what you're gonna do? And he's like, yeah, it'll be something by the time I attack you, but you can't even tell me, so you obviously don't care.
It's not that I don't care. It's like the artist that I go to, I'm friends with, and I know what like they're capable of, and like I go to them for their style and like what they like to do. So I feel like for me to be like, I want this and exactly this, is not what they want to do, and it's not why I go to them. So it's like, even with like my leg, like Ryan just drew all this on by hand, like no stencil. He just like drew everything out, and it didn't look exactly like this until it was done. So
that's good.
It's a good way. It's a good way to go into it, though, is let people build up their stuff.
It's true, especially if you're there for that artist, right? That's what a lot of tattoo artists, I think, want, is people just coming to them for their style. Give me a general idea, and you're getting exactly what I do.
Yeah, because that's what anybody wants to do, really, is their style.
Yeah, there's some artists that are all like, hey, I'll give you my 10,000th rose again. Like, I'll do a typical old school style rose. No problem.
Yeah, here's another. Well, it was funny too. They say that for the head that's on this snake, my artist had like 4 that he had drawn out previously, so that he didn't draw the same one over and over again. So
Nice.
He's like, these are what I did, so not those. And then I was like, that's a great idea. That's a good way to go about it. Do you find in doing that, like, your outcome is better than when somebody tells you exactly, like the one that wanted larger boobs on his friend? Like, you went back and forth a bunch about boob size.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I'm usually I'll do the sketch, and I'll get people to say something on that first, because I definitely don't want to be changing things once it's fully rendered, besides maybe a color of something. But like, yeah, it helps, because again, like, I feel like there should be conversation. I know a lot of artists that don't want to say much to their customers, and it's just like, basically, you commission me this, I'm just gonna do it, and if you don't like it, then don't buy it.
If you don't like
or
it,
at
then
least
it's too bad.
Yeah, or at least pay me this much up front, so I don't waste my time completely doing it. But I'm just gonna waste my time anyways, so let's ask all the questions as we go.
That makes sense. work It's like a more collaborative effort that way.
Yeah, I mean, I have a general like Google Forms, answer these questions, so I can get an idea of like what I'm giving as per someone's pricing, right? But like, once we're in it and you're in agreement, and you've paid for half of it up front, and I'm doing the work, then yeah, we're good to go.
Speaking of, that's how this worked. You gave me the that sheet layout, and I was just like, masks, and you're like, give me more.
Yeah.
And then
Tell me more.
Please tell me more. Yeah, Riles, I was trying to close that. It was my messaging app has decided to circumvent the fact that I don't have it open right now, and it still is making noise.
Beep.
I think it might do its own.
I think Riles is saying that they miss it.
There we go.
You should bring it back.
No, it's one of those apps that has like a sub app to it that is just always running. So when I thought I had closed it, it was still like, it's open in the dock. Why the fuck do I want it open? I closed it. PC drives me insane that way. Slightly mad, yeah. Blame that on Meowko and Fiorni. They were blowing up our group chat. You have koala resilience. Imagine your artwork as a tree house for koalas. How high would it be, and what would it be made of?
How high would it be?
Yeah. Yeah, if your
Are
art...
we talking like... drugs high, or... Just
It can't always be drugs, koala.
It can't be. How high? How high are you? I mean, koalas go pretty high. Like actual koalas go pretty high, and I mean,
Yeah, how many did you like? Was picking a koala arbitrary initially, and then you kind of like built up on it, and like went to koala school and did some koala learning to get your qualifications, or?
No, I've always naturally been a koala.
You've always been a koala?
Everyone's always called me koala. I don't have an affinity for koalas. That's why I'm a little different. I'm a pink one with horns.
Gotcha.
You know, you can't make everybody happy, but yeah, I'm not. Don't have a big thing for koalas. Just now being a koala on the internet, I've definitely like been fed koala facts to like no end.
You don't have to look them up. Other people just like give you koala facts. That's pretty convenient.
Just assumed now as a koala. But yeah, I think that treehouse would be pretty high up there.
Yeah,
and I think it'd be pretty simple because koalas don't have the energy to to do anything.
Considering they eat a plant that is poisonous.
Yeah, and that's all they can do. That's all they can do.
All they can do is climb and sleep and create some of the most horrific noises I've ever heard an animal create.
Yeah, that's what everyone says, but I'm sure I could find some more horrific noises. There's like some birds that straight up sound like they're like banshees screaming at you.
True. Have you ever heard what an actual fox says?
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of like little yips.
It's like screams.
Yeah.
It's like a baby being stabbed in the woods, especially if it's at night and you don't know what it is. It's just like, I'm not gonna go that way because whatever's happening over there is not for me. No, thank you.
Over here in Skinwalker Ranch.
I mean, that's definitely like, I think pumas make the same kind of noise. So like that was assumptions for like the early like Skinwalker record is like not knowing what that sound is, and just like knowing that if you go near that sound you're gonna die, and it was most likely like a large cat of some variety.
Interesting.
How do your art pieces capture the essence of the bushland as well as your favorite eucalyptus trees do? The question was worded differently. It said but I don't have favorite eucalyptus trees.
You don't have a favorite eucalyptus tree?
No.
You know, koalas actually do, right? Like specific breeds of koalas in certain areas of Australia only eat certain types of eucalyptus leaves.
Interesting.
So they'll like find a tree and be territorial about it and everything because it's like theirs for life. And if they eat everything off that tree and don't find another one, they'll literally just starve to death instead of eating any other eucalyptus.
Did not know that. That's pretty wild. So the question makes more sense then.
Yeah. I mean, the joke is if you were to put a eucalyptus leaf on a plate, a koala wouldn't know what it is because it's not their eucalyptus.
Oh.
So they just would literally sit there and starve to death with food right in front of them.
That's wild.
That's why we're dying off. That's why we're 50,000 strong.
Deforestation happens and there's no way to like get them to actually eat something. That's wild. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, I forgot what the question was though.
How do your art pieces capture the essence of that?
I mean, they don't. They besides like my goofy PNG tubers, they don't really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Australian. I don't really know Australian wildlife that well. So...
That reminds me, talking about that, because this clip that I have is, I think this one. You have a slightly different character there.
Wow. What a position, dude.
Oh yeah, that's my handler.
This guy's sleeping on the job?
That's Kevin.
That's Kevin, your handler.
That's Kevin. Yeah. That's the human.
Baby got back.
You're a raccoon in this game, whatever game this is.
All right, you just stay there. Also, that truck just drove in with
Assuming
nobody
a
in
different
it. Okay,
species, as always.
so I really did good today.
You have it just all over different species. Fiorni wants to know what koalas taste like.
You'd have to ask an Australian. I imagine they taste horrible.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could actually like die from eating their meat because of the amount of eucalyptus that's in them.
Yeah, I wonder. I read an account of a hunter in Africa eating a lion and how it was like disgusting because it was like that ammonia that they have at a higher concentration in their body. So
Ugh.
that's a good, that you're probably right with the eucalyptus. It would probably be pretty gross or poisonous.
Yeah, they also smell bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then like camels in the same way, like things that are made of camel skin will stink, like utterly stink for months, if not longer, even after like it's been tanned and like dried and fixed. Awful in the same way. Koala
Camels
meat
smell
is
really bad.
camels are gross. Yeah, they smell
Oh.
horrible. Koala meat is described as tough, chewy, and having a strong eucalyptus flavor.
Oh, there you go. So it is
Thank you,
edible.
Loki. Apparently,
You shouldn't be telling people that, Loki.
edible
Where
enough.
there's only
Look-
50,000 of us. Nobody should be eating koalas.
I got scammed.
They're not supposed to have natural predators.
Their natural predators are not being able to eat food because they don't have any more eucalyptus left.
I mean, that's a lot of species in Australia, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of poisonous creatures and stuff, but there isn't actual like natural predators for a lot of their species.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any that like are having the opposite, where they're just like an overabundance of them for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
What Australian animal would be the best art critic for your work, and why?
Well,
A lot of
definitely
these
not.
questions are Australian, by the way.
Definitely not a bird. Definitely not a bird. I don't trust birds.
No,
So
like
they're not gonna
government
give me an
spy don't
answer.
trust, or
No, I mean, I just don't trust birds in general. Anything that can fly and shit on your car is not really
it's not
appropriate.
trustworthy.
I mean, I think I'd trust a kangaroo. They're
Yeah.
pretty tough. They're pretty tough customers.
They don't fuck around.
No,
They
exactly.
will pull you into the water and drown you.
Yeah, they also have a pouch, which is cute.
Do koalas have pouches?
Yeah, I think so. I think mothers have pouches or something similar to that.
Hmm.
Yeah, the gross little thing. Gross little pink sack. That sounds
Ru-
wrong.
A nice little pink sack. Threaten me with a good time. Ryle says, "What if I plant 3 koala seeds? Can I eat a koala then?"
No. Still, you're supposed to be adding to the population of koalas.
Fiorni
We-
says
we-
marsupials, so yes, pouches.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a prereq for a marsupial. They need to have pouches.
We love our pouches.
Have you experienced a branch out moment where your art took an unexpected direction?
I mean, switching to digital definitely was kind of that for me.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of a surprise how quickly I was able to like pick it up. And then just having the ability to like not waste tons of paper and tons of time on sketches because you can kind of manipulate or put things on different layers and just get rid of it instead of making a giant mess. That was definitely a huge thing for me. And then like being able to do digital art definitely influenced hopping on Twitch.
Yeah.
So
Much easier to do digital than traditional. You don't need a multi-camera setup or anything like that.
no, exactly. You could just have just the art and your voice if you wanted.
Mm.
And it works out. It works out for a lot of people.
And people see it and look at it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
what was the hardest part about transitioning from like traditional art to digital art for you?
Mostly just my personality, because I was always like kind of a purist. I was always like, oh, those digital artists are just cheating and blah blah blah. And now I'm like kind of learning some of the tools, and it's like, yeah, in a sense, you can cheat your way with like little hacks and things that make your life easier, but you're still learning a new tool. So
Mhm.
I think at first it was like just getting over the stigma of doing digital art, and
Mhm.
then actually doing it. But I mean, there's always a part of me too that's just like, you can make more money off of traditional. You might be able to do more art as a digital artist, but
Why do you think that is?
I, I mean,
I'm
you
not
can
saying you're
justify
wrong. I'm just
you can
curious.
justify the cost for the first part, like to
Okay.
be like, hey, I paid this much for a quality canvas. Hey, I paid this much for a quality frame, or like this much for, especially if you're using oil paints. Like oil paints are expensive,
Hmm.
so it's just like you can kind of get away with justifying a cost on that, and then shipping as well. Shipping something that is actually tangible and holdable, right,
True.
is huge to some people.
Yeah, I mean, people spent $1 million on JPEG or
This is true.
NFTs, um,
This is true.
just to play devil's advocate. But yeah, I totally feel that with. It's also hard with digital art if you're the way you're getting like a physical print is like, is it an inkjet printer, and then like that kind of feels less real than like you're saying, like a painting, even though it's just like the same process just in a different way. um yeah, if that makes sense. Fucking
No,
NFTs.
that makes sense. It does.
Like
So it's
I will pick an original over a print, but if there's no original option, it's just like, well, then it becomes, how was it printed?
yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is, with original, there might be prints of that original, but owning that original always will hold more value than a print.
Hmm.
So, as if someone's collecting art or putting it somewhere, it's a little more prestigious to be like, oh, this is the only one.
Yeah, it's yeah, a little egotistical in a way. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has that, so it makes sense. What do you feel was the easiest part of transitioning from traditional to digital?
Again, just not this not killing my bank account with supplies
Yeah.
was a huge one. The ability to undo is really big for me,
Mm,
because I was very much a sketch artist, loved sketching, loved using like different colored graphite and stuff, and loved inking as well, but inking was very time consuming, and then if you mess up something that's already inked, it's just like, oh my god, I have to do that all again. It's one thing to trace it all again, like cover your tracks with a mess up and just redo it as a sketch, but to ink it all is just like, oh my god.
to have to redo, just
Yeah.
you're essentially starting from scratch at that point.
Had a lot of ability to actually like do more art too. Like
Hmm.
carrying around a little iPad everywhere, you could pretty much draw anywhere. I mean, you can carry around a little notebook and stuff, but you're not going to create a high quality big piece that'll become a print on an airplane, you
Yeah,
know?
you're more like sketching out ideas at that point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So your ability to make more and have the convenience of making more is like the pro
Yeah.
for going to digital art.
I
If your
mean,
art,
yeah,
go ahead.
you got the ability to make mistakes, right? Like that's
Hmm.
the big thing with digital art is it's
Without
very easy to,
repercussions.
yeah, exactly. Very easy to backtrack. Just be like, okay, let's try this again. Let's try that shape again.
What if we did it this way or this color? I think color wise too, like you can just layer, and then try 6 different colors.
Yeah,
And
just go
like,
to just go to your color spread or whatever, your hue and saturation bar, and just be
mhm,
like, oh, let's try all
drag,
these.
drag, drag, drag.
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
if your art could speak with a cute Aussie accent, what would it say about itself?
Why
don't
this
know.
smells like shrimp.
Zan is probably asleep right now, so
Yeah.
we've missed their take on it. But smells like shrimp. So back to smells. It's got a funky smell to it.
Yeah, everything's got a little bit of a funky smell to it, right?
How do you strike a balance between being a night owl like me? That was appropriate because I mean I feel like I am, and creating art during the daylight hours. So, which direction do you fall? Do you feel?
Well, with my current work schedule,
I was about to say, like, negate work. If you had like your ideal, what do you think you'd fall into?
I'm a little bit weird because, like, yeah, I love the night owl. I definitely live as an artist, always lived the night owl life, just kind of creating art when everything's quiet, everything's off, nobody's awake, nobody's bothering you.
Mhm.
There's no pressure of getting a random call for anything, right? So that's always been a benefit. But I also do find myself, like, when I wake up early and have nothing to do, is kind of when I really want to create art, or the ideas start flowing. Whereas nighttime, it's that's more of the hard work type thing.
Like you get down to actually finishing projects and coming to good conclusions at night, when in the morning you feel more ready to start that process.
Exactly. Welcome on in, Unicorn.
Oh, hello Uni, how are you? What were you up to on the internet? If you're this is your first time in, my name's ItsManyMasks. Today I'm doing an artist totally here on their own accord, featuring Koala here, who is a little marsupial pink guy, also an artist here on Twitch that you can follow at Killa_Koala_. And they do interesting art. They're doing art behind them there. Bean just did first before Courier. That's great. Oh, ads started. We're in ads. We don't have to actually do anything. I meant to when I sort out the ad thing so it'll actually pop up. I was gonna set up a trigger that makes it looks like the lights dim, and so anybody that subscribes would just get us talking about random crap until the ads came back, and then the lights would come back up, so it'd be like a TV show and the whole thing.
That'd be awesome, actually. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, that way it would be visual and I would know that it's happening instead of having something pop up. And then I was also going to use it to troll certain guests. It goes into an ad, I'm like, oh, we're in an ad break, and then just continue to draw but not talk to them. I imagine that happens on TV shows, the desk shows where there's just like Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, and just a guest that's on because they have a movie coming out and they don't really give a fuck about them, and then they were like, oh, we're in commercial break, and they're just like, can I get some more coffee? Can I get thank you.
Just start ignoring each other.
Yeah. Just super awkward. Okay, I think we're back from ads. So what I was saying before the ads started, appreciate you if you stuck around, is that this is an artist totally here on their own accord. There's a little abbreviation guy down there. I'm here today with the Killa Koala. Screen name's right there. You can follow.
It's right there.
You can follow him on Twitch as well as Instagram. He doesn't have TikTok because that's kid stuff. He's not a kid. And we're
little babies.
We're talking about his journey through art and becoming a koala. Was it a freak accident? I never asked that. Was it do you fall into a vat of koala blood or something?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
It's kind of why I don't have any clothes on right now.
Okay.
So it's a little embarrassing.
You need a full backstory as to how you became a koala.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm a little bit of a demon. I like to think that I'm just a demon in a koala form.
You possessed a koala's body.
Yeah, I'm just really bad at it because it just turned pink instead of staying the natural gray tan colors.
No, it's because you were a demon that was pink beforehand, and you changed into a koala. You're like, what's this gray shit? And then you
Yeah.
turned to pink. There you go.
Boring. This is boring. Let's get some color in here.
The CIA transplanted your brain, says Fearney, into a koala. Bean, all of those commands are broken, but I appreciate you. Give Uni a follow. I'm sure they were probably playing Valorant or Call of Duty, or they were doing. They have a Pokemon card shop where you can buy like booster packs or like individual cards. So that'd be pretty cool.
Wait, they own a shop? Like
Yeah, they have a
actually,
shop.
like a card shop?
They have. I don't know if she has a physical shop, but has like a card. Does card reselling of Pokemon cards and things like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, big into Pokemon. I work with Uni in real life, and I met her via Pokemon Go. At
Oh
work.
shit.
we had a big
At work.
Pokemon Go group. It's legitimately like 150 people, I think, was the most we had at a certain point. So there would be a raid on campus, and there would be like 30 people standing outside on their phone tapping away at the raid. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mhm.
That's actually hilarious.
Also very into EDM as a parent by that little Pikachu and the light dancing. But yeah, give Uni a
Thanks.
follow. They're very nice.
Followed.
And they were in my stream all the time when I first started streaming. They were super helpful. I was like, I'm going to do this
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And she was there all the time. So give her a
Hell
follow. Have you ever used eucalyptus leaves to create a unique texture or effect in your art?
No.
Okay, next question.
Simply, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Straight
next
up.
que-
No.
No,
That's
okay.
food.
Yeah, why would I do that?
Have you ever used a steak to 3D print?
Just get real indignant. Have you ever done a stick? But do you use a lot of textures when you do create art via the iPad? Like, do you find yourself straying away from that, or
More for backgrounds, but I mean, I again, I like have prided myself on the clean lines thing, as everyone kind of feeds into that for me. So like, I kind of don't really dabble too much in textures. I know even with like all the expansive brushes that there are digitally, people love playing with those and like trying to get like the Copic marker texture or like the oil brush, like perfect oil brush type texture. I'm not really a sucker for those. I like it simple. I like it clean. I like playing around with colors. That's for sure.
Okay, so you go color over texture.
For sure. Whereas like the Ari Beans of the world are like got it all. They know what they're doing texture wise.
Bean says you're just a regular sucker. Bean also said your
Yeah.
drawing looks like a chicken nugget grimace version of your character, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, just a little nugget.
I have your kind of like a little bit of a clown face on my 3D render here. Oop.
That's about right. That's about
I
right.
feel like the lips there kind of give you like a little clown bit.
Some people would call me a clown.
Did you try like textures and then decide that you didn't like it, or did you always feel more comfortable? Because you said you came from like a comic book style, and comic book traditionally uses that half tone to get the shade in most cases, which came from printing restrictions and is now like its style. Would you say that you tried it, didn't like it, and then stuck with it, or just were always in the direction? I think I
So
almost lost power.
I'll still use. Oh, really?
Yeah, my lights just flickered, but yeah, go for it.
I'll always use like the background textures. So like try to imitate like canvas for a background of a piece. But like, yeah, I mean, even when I did traditional, it was very much like poster board or comic board, and definitely Copic markers can react in a certain way that kind of gives it that graininess naturally. But even then, like even with traditional, I always tried to like aim for super precise and like clean colors, clean lines and everything. So I just never really played with textures. I feel like, yeah, you gotta be really good at that. You have to have an eye for that, just the same way as some people have it for colors or design in general.
Hmm. Would that be something that you'd give a try? You said it wasn't like something that you ever had to like mess with that to try to like see if you could incorporate it, or not interested in it at all.
Again, like I've incorporated now with like canvas textures and background textures
Hmm.
and stuff like that, and then like playing around with like noise filters is always fun, and kind of the instantaneous satisfaction you can get on Procreate just to add like a half glitch or a half tone instantly is
Hmm.
pretty fun to play with. But even then, like I feel like it just doesn't really fit my style, I guess, at the moment. But
True. Yeah, if your
I'm all
style's always expanding and trying new things, then you never know.
exactly.
Can you share an artwork that's as comforting as snuggling up in a eucalyptus tree's branches?
Say that again.
Ursa is smoke a texture? Yes.
Mhm.
Can you share an artwork that's as comforting as snuggling up in a eucalyptus tree's branches?
Can I share an artwork, like an artwork that I have now?
Or just like an idea. I mean, you do have access to your
I
your
do.
Procreate there. So if you have
I
something
mean,
that gives you comfort, that you made for you because you had the idea and you enjoy it.
huh. I mean, I would say like a lot of the little koalas we've made have been kind of fun to play around with. But
Mhm.
as for like something comforting, I mean, this was a good one. This bean one,
I
the
like
Bud
that.
Island.
You have little wiggly hands. It's very Adventure Time reminiscent.
It was
With, like,
very
the little
Adventure
hands.
Time.
Yeah.
A lot of it. A lot of this like little era of koala was Adventure Time, which was very
Mhm.
comforting because it like pleases the little kid side of me.
Do you see
But
the new show coming out? Are you gonna give that a watch?
there's a new. What do you mean? There's a new show?
It's
There's a new show.
it's the female version of both as a new series that's post Adventure Time.
Oh, wait, because they already had like a whole season like that, right?
Yeah, I think there's another season of that coming out. If I'm not mistaken,
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but
No, I haven't. I actually haven't finished Adventure Time. I because
really,
every time I try to watch it, I show it back to someone,
Mhm.
and we always start from the start, and I end up
And then
watching
you
like
go
the
back
first
through
six
it every
seasons
time.
over and over and over again.
So you gotta start watching it for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well,
Which,
actually been buying the seasons slowly on YouTube
mm,
because I do appreciate Pendleton Ward,
mm.
who's actually here on. I didn't even know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, he's
actually
here
here on
on
Twitch.
Twitch. Yeah, I've caught a few of his streams. It's very interesting style at which he creates on here. It's
Yeah,
it's
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 definitely in
very
his
different.
own world.
Yeah, it's very different from a lot of other things. Uni, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for bringing people in. Go get dinner. Thank you
Yeah.
for hanging out so long after your stream. I'm sure you had a long stream. Appreciate you. Let's see what this second clip is because I already forget.
Uh-oh. Oh God.
Fuck off you fat useless sack of fucking Yankee danky doodle shite.
Rebo, watch this. Watch this. Oh. Okay. Maybe that was. You guys want to try? You want to try to pull a pickle out of my hole? Flavor Town! Flavor Town!
Jamming them pickles in there.
So that I missed that. Was that you? It was Chef Koala.
Yeah, so for a charity stream, I had
Mhm.
a goal for Kevin, my handler, to do a cooking stream.
Mm.
Yeah,
And then
and
that
that's
was.
what it came of. That's what came of it. I'm surprised you got that clip because I'm looking back at my clips and I delete like I usually like I'll leave them up for a bit so people can
Mhm.
see them, but I delete the ones that actually have my my real face in it. Because like
That's
I'm
how
trying to keep those streams special, right? Like,
Gotcha.
but I'm
That makes
surprised
sense.
you got that somehow.
Magic of the internet.
But yeah, that was actually hella fun. I gotta say that was probably the most fun I've ever had on my own stream.
Really, I
just
mean,
cooking.
it came across that way because the clip's a little bit longer than that, but it definitely like you seem to be having a great time doing it, and for a charity too. That's a great cause for that then.
Well, that wasn't for charity.
I know the
did
reward.
a charity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a reward.
Yeah.
So it was more or less for all the donos and the diehards, because we'd been talking about a cooking stream for so long. I love food.
I mean, you should definitely do another one, and if you link it to a charity, even better. My iPad, this person. I can apparently move around in here, but I can't. Okay, there we go. I couldn't click anything else. But yeah, it came across. You should do like some koala cooking, or have your handler do some koala cooking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's another beast in itself, because it was quite the setup. I actually dragged my whole setup from upstairs in the office here down to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which was also lucky that we had internet extenders, because I tried to do it on Wi-Fi at the start and it just like instantly dropped the whole stream.
It was like no way, no how.
But luckily we got to plug in that Ethernet, and it actually worked out.
Nice.
But yeah, it was hella fun. But again, it kind of like art. Sometimes when you're starting into stream, you're like, what am I doing today? I didn't do any art. I don't have anything ready. I don't have any ideas. Whereas like with cooking, it's like, no, what are you actually doing today? Because you can't just go on a cooking stream and be like, I'm gonna make a steak, but I didn't buy steaks. So
so we'll just sit here and stare at the camera.
But no, it was good times. It was really good times.
What did you? I saw you were making pickles. What else did you make on that stream?
So we pickled some onions, we pickled some cucumbers, pickled some radishes and carrots. So we just did like a whole little pickling segment. I started off actually by baking cookies. So we made a pineapple, coconut, macadamia nut, white chocolate cookie. Initially it was going to be 2 separate cookies, but I was like, let's just throw it all into one batch. And they actually turned out great, like super good.
Nice. You just a big old mix of cookies.
Yeah, the pineapple made them like super sticky. I didn't have to put too much sugar and everything, so it's kind of nice. And we got about 4 of them, and then my dog ate them off the counter overnight.
Nice.
all of them. And then for dinner we made a potato pancake and a chicken schnitzel with a little mushroom sauce.
It's very you did a very like Eastern European
yeah,
pickled stuff. You pickled stuff. You made. What would you do if you did it again? Would you do like the same kind of like that style or something different?
No, I think we'd do something a little bit different. I mean, I have a pork char-siu in my little repertoire there. Do some like you ever had steamed buns?
What did you call me?
Exactly. A pork char-siu.
I don't know what a char-siu is.
It's like a barbecued pork. Like you see it a lot in like Korean barbecue and Chinese barbecue. It's that very like red pork
I was going to say
belly.
it's the red. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Exactly. But you put it in a steamed bun.
I've had steamed buns. Anytime my barber is down by Pike's Place, which is like a big market for anybody that doesn't know what Pike's Place is. And right across the street from Pike's is I guess it's a Chinese bakery. I was going to say it's not a Chinese restaurant. It's a Chinese bakery because they do steam buns. They do like humbao. They do a bunch of like they do a lotus bun that's green onions and shrimp. And it is so good. So my barber is like 2 blocks away from Pike's Place. So I go into Seattle, get my haircut, and then I walk down there. And if there's not a crazy line, I get 2 pork buns and 2 steam buns, and eat that usually before I get back to my car, and then drive home. But
hell yeah,
so
I love
good.
it. It's such a good hand food.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to. You don't have the shrimp ones. They are so greasy that if I take it out of the thing, I'm just like covered in grease on the walk back.
You can't mention shrimp around me. I love shrimp so much.
Yeah. I used to at one of the places I worked. They sold a like shrimp tray. And I would buy that in the morning and then have half of it for my first break and then eat the other half for my lunch.
I imagine your breath smelled amazing.
Oh, probably. It's probably great. And I was selling like TVs and stuff at the time, so I had to talk to a lot of people. I don't like that guy. His breath stinks.
Yeah.
What's the wildest artistic adventure you've embarked on that's comparable to tree climbing expeditions?
I get, again, hate to sound cliche with it, but probably Twitch. Twitch
Yeah.
was a weird decision. And it's
How so?
still like it constantly feels like a climb. I mean, I normally don't like when people are right behind me, like A, at work, or like B, even doing my art, like having friends or family right watching your every stroke and move is like weird. It's very weird to me. So that was a weird thing to be like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. That seems fun. And then doing it and then being like, oh, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that you could do. There's a lot you could produce. There's like, once you start gaining a community, it's like, oh, how do I feed these people? So it's like constantly like, it constantly is. It feels like there's a steady climb of what's next? What do we do next?
Would you say that you're an extrovert or an introvert when it comes to, like you said, you don't like people looking over your shoulder, but like when it comes to like art stuff outside of Twitch, because Twitch kind of forces you to be an extrovert. You can't, it's hard to be like very introspective and then still like find purchase here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much an introvert in person. Very much. So like Twitch is that little bit that I'm like, okay, let's lift up the veil here and put up a new one. Put up a new type of veil for people to guess through.
It's like a safer zone for you because like you're in more control of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if I'm having a bad interaction with someone, it's just like banned. You can't do that in real life.
on my paddleboarding stream, I had some guy just randomly, first question was, "Are you gay?" And it's like, why is that? Yeah, I was like, why is that the first thing you come into somebody's chat? You're not like, hey, how's it going? It's like, are you gay? And I was just like, ban immediately.
Yeah,
like,
they might have been like, please be gay. Like,
yeah, it could have been, but at that point, like, why is that the first? It's not like hello. Like, even if the person was like hello beforehand, and then I've been like, are you gay? And be like, yeah, I'm queer, and then been a conversation, but it was, are you gay? It's like, that seems like a troll and blocked. Yeah. So that would be convenient to have in real life. It's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, so now I don't have to. Is there any like big projects that you worked on that you feel like would be the wildest artistic adventure where like when you're doing traditional stuff, like how did you do big stuff? Did you do like a long project that was just like multi weeks of like drawing the same thing or anything like that?
I mean, I've had a few big projects that I've not followed through on, that's for sure.
I have no idea
to kind of find my
what it's like to not finish projects, because I finish everything.
I mean, I had a big commission, but to be honest, the pay wasn't really worth the follow through. So
Mhm.
that was one that was kind of like easy to be like, I can't do anything more for this. But it was, at least it was different characters kind of thing. But I tried to create my own deck of cards.
Okay, I
And
do remember.
that was something I
remember,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, it's something I really wanted for myself. And then it just kind of, it fizzled out. It was a lot of work. And then once it got to the design stuff, I'm not very good with design and like templates and laying stuff out. So that got a little iffy, and I lost a little steam. And then the big bad happened, and I lost all the art, which was just like, oh
yeah.
my, this is not the way this is supposed to go.
No.
But I'd still like to, honestly. Like I still have a lot of the mock-ups, so I could still kind of create off of that a little bit more, and maybe even, you know, find gas and kind of changing some things up and making it, you know, a little more inspiring again.
Yeah, like we talked about before stream, like when you lose something or something that you've created and it's gone, like you tend to do better the second run faster because you already did like the work on the front end of like figuring out what you wanted, the style you were going for, made some decisions, and then you've lost it, but like it's easier to get back into.
Yeah, exactly. So you might have just needed that erase to kind of, that big erase to figure out exactly what you wanted out of it.
Restart
Can
that
be a
shelf.
benefit.
Well, if you're trying to get
Yeah.
back into those cards, I do templating for a living. So I could very much,
Yeah.
like if you were to do like, there's a few services that will allow you to make a typeface from handwritten and hand design and stuff. So if you were to like draw out all of the numbers and then like the stylized like suits of the cards, then it'd be very easy for me to throw that into a template, then churn out all of the cards on the inside, and then like you just have to do the backs of the cards.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it was a lot. I finished all the face cards. And I had designed all the like custom suits. And then we did the box art, or at least the front of the box art. And then that was it. Lost it all.
Then it was gone. It flew away.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if you're trying to get back into it. Like I could definitely help with the template stuff. It's easy. So if you were trying to get easy for me, I should say.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't mean to generalize. I've had people comment before. It's like it's not easy. I'm like, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. It's different disciplines. So if you're trying to get back into it, like definitely let me know and I could help you with that part of it. Doing some cards, and it'd be fun.
This
to
time
have.
I'm just gonna remember to actually back it up properly is the big thing.
Yeah.
Because I tried to make the big move and back it all up at once, and sure enough, like half of it didn't get picked up. It was just like, oh man, where did you go? You went into that. I swear, I saw you go in that folder.
Which is into the void. There's a land of like where the movie The Land of Broken Toys. There's a land of like art projects that are just never to see the light of day ever again. So they're living happy.
Exactly.
They're living happy somewhere there.
It's just the lost souls of art.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy with Twitch is like you find people that their concentrations on things are different than yours, and then the ability to like collaborate with them on a project is like one of my favorite things. That was for a little bit that I was burnt out. It was like I was trying to help as much as I could with everything that I could, and like people were like, thanks, but I'm good. And then it was just like, why is no one taking my help? So it just stepped back. But like that's my favorite part about it is just like being like, open with design and open with making art and creating things. But yeah, get back into it, make some cards.
It could be a lot, right? Because
yeah,
a lot of artists create at their own pace, right? And there's a part of like where you want to be successful but you got to put in so much work, especially now as an artist. You have to wear so many faces to like be out there to actually be a successful, like monetary wise, right? Because you could be successful if you're just creating art that you love.
Yeah,
But like,
it's how you
and then to
measure
have
the
people
success.
join you, have people join you on that when you think you have such a clear vision, and then see that they work at different paces or have different ideas, especially as an artist, can be like, oh my god, do I know what I'm doing? Do I want to do that? Should I do that? Like,
Yeah, I feel like a big part of doing art is that introspection, and then having ideas questioned, and like if that changes your art for the better, it's a healthy thing. As long as you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, it tends to work out better for you.
oops.
What am I
I
saying?
mean, for me,
What am I?
what are you
I'm
saying?
in your drawing.
Oh, you're saying that I'm clear of all chlamydia.
Nice.
Sir, you are clear of all chlamydia. Which
the methods
just
at
of the
which,
last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say the methods of which that I'm aware of that in that situation. As I'm also naked.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you find out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
There was
There's
a
no
thing that
test for that.
happened, and then I went to the doctor, and they said I'm good.
Yeah.
So I guess you're good too. That's not the way that anybody should do that.
I mean, sometimes that's how other people find out they have it, right?
Oh, very much so.
They get that random call like, yo,
Well, yeah.
yo, you gave me chlamydia.
You don't get the call in the opposite
what?
though. This is a good thing this is happening during a commercial. You don't get it in the opposite direction though. It's never like, hey, I'm calling to let you know I don't have chlamydia. And it's just like, thanks. I guess.
That's true. This
Yeah,
is true.
The assumption is if you never hear back from somebody, you're good. But that might not be the case. They just might be a bad person.
Oof. That was during an ad break? Perfect.
Yes. Yeah, we're still in an ad break. Are your worms your competing interior, like, inner monologue on what you want to play? Your Diablo
no, I
versus
actually
Baldur's
just
Gate?
drew the worm, and I just drew the worm initially, just thinking of the tadpoles in Baldur's Gate. So I was just like, oh, let's make a little, like, I guess this one should have horns because it should be a little demon.
Little Diablo. It
So I
reminds me
just
of
try to.
the Binding of Isaac.
I've not played the Binding of Isaac, but I've
You
heard
should give
good
it a
things.
try. Yeah, it's a generative dungeon. I don't know.
Roguelike,
Roguelike.
right?
Yeah, it's probably a roguelike. What does a roguelike mean? I have absolutely no idea. Like I don't know.
It's where you're like intended to die or intended to repeat similar stages over and over of the game.
So why is it called rogue?
A Hades. Well, because your intention is like, if you're really good, you could sneak around the whole game and find a way to beat it in one try, but good luck, kind of thing.
If you're a good rogue. Is that what?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, all the other ones like the genres that have their own thing seem to be like based on another game, like Doom-esque or whatever those ones are.
The best way I could say like a roguelike is like if you're trying to play Skyrim without ever dying, so you just pick up the archery skill, and even
Sneak
as a low
archer.
level, pick off like the hardest boss, just hiding in the corner, shooting one damage arrows, right? Just like sit there for an hour tossing out 1,000 arrows.
Do you have any projects that you're working on now, or any plans stream-wise that you would like to share or talk about?
Stream wise, I mean, there's a few ideas floating around. Nothing too crazy. I'd like to do another cooking stream again. I'd like that. Again, I had so much fun with that. It would be cool to again play that into like a charity reward or some sort of reward to chat. Where,
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's something greater involved with doing something like that, because it's not often that I'm on camera, especially full body, pulling pickles out of a jar.
Telling people to pull your pickles out of your jar.
Exactly. Pull my pickle, please.
So something like that. What charity was that for that you did that initially?
That was for the games charity. Oh shit.
Better
I
or
should
Second
know
Life?
their name. No. Bad with names. I'm really bad with names. This doesn't reflect on the charity at all.
No.
Yeah, there's a few that reached out to me actually, but it was Games for Love, not Games for Children. Games for Love.
Games for children. Games for love.
Yeah, Games for Love, which they supply like entertainment to kids in hospitals that are there like long term. Because I don't know if anyone's ever had like a major injury or surgery where you're stuck in a hospital for like a month or more. It's like scary, right? Like you're out there, your parents are visiting you, but they literally supplied video games to kids and other forms of entertainment and education as well, just to keep kids like mind focused off of the trauma of being in a hospital.
That's a very worthy cause. So
Yeah, they really like their artists too. So it's kind of funny. They very much like they reach out to the Twitch community. They hire people just to be like, yo, we help us. Like, please help us.
that's great. The outreach for that.
No,
Does
exactly.
anybody in the chat have questions for this koala? This little guy.
I hope not. Don't ask any questions. That'll work. That's the whole point of the show, right? No questions.
No questions. Actually, you've still been muted the whole time. I was just talking to myself.
Perfect. I mean, Bean had 2 questions.
I definitely marked Falafel King down, Bean. I have it marked in my in either Google Maps or my Apple Maps, because I definitely need to try it. And yes, I've already said that. Or you better be. The turtle made that so much more menacing for it just being a little pixelated turtle. You're a little nugget.
Oh, no, it's Nady. I think
Yeah,
Nady's a
Nady.
bug.
Is it a
I
bug?
think Nady's a bug.
I always saw.
Is
It's
he a
got little.
Is
it's
Nady
got
a turtle
little-
or a bug?
It's got little antennas. I was incorrect. Little antenna guys.
Little gas.
Get a shirt. Buy a shirt. Half of it goes to the koala, and they're really cool shirts. I can't.
Me?
I
need a shirt.
You
Yeah,
can. I mean, you can
Buy me a shirt. I'm shirtless.
You're shirtless. That'd be funny to do. Is have like little shirts. You got little shirt guys on there. You should just roll out one of those as yours. Just mold it to your little koala body so you're not naked. And just like arms out to the side when you have it on because it's so small. Just like, I can't draw, guys.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on, Koala.
Just fully covered.
Just fully,
Yeah.
The only time you're not naked. Everybody should go follow the Koala if you don't already. He does a ton of fun art stuff and marbles and community games occasionally, which is always fun. Watching people get frustrated with
Yeah, or you can
golf with
just
your friends.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can just watch me play Baldur's Gate for the next 5 hours. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Koala's immediately streaming
Too
after
much.
this,
Too much.
playing Baldur's Gate, and will not interact with chat because he's
No.
busy playing Baldur's Gate. Could you imagine?
Exactly.
We're gonna.
No, thank you for having me on. I
course.
wanted to be a part of this. That's for sure.
Loki wants
you always
to
got
know-
like cool ideas going.
Thank you. Yeah, that was.
Why did Koala rig the trivia
Yeah.
game?
Yeah. Why did you rig it?
I didn't rig it. It just happened to be that way. I'm just lucky, I guess. I'm lucky to win games, and I'm lucky to be here right now.
You're good at trivia. That's how it works. Loki's just sour.
Yeah, I stole that win. It was actually pure luck.
Well, we're gonna raid into Mad Concepts, who's doing a drawing. It looks like a Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and Mad's a little rat. I don't know if you've been in his stream recently, but he's a little rat guy now.
I've seen Mad's rat. Yeah, I mean they're crazy artists, but I've seen their little rat. It fits the vibe over there
so very much, and his handle of like light and shadow is ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. But thank you guys for being here. Thanks everybody that was in the chat hanging out. Say hi to Mad. You can say that the raid call could be we're all real stinky. So yeah, thanks for being here. I'm gonna try to
beanbag chair.
I'm gonna try to stream more coming up now that it's not blistering hot anymore and the air quality isn't like sitting in a smoker. So I'll be on the internet more again, and I'm getting shit fixed in here, so that'll be.
Hey, Masks.
Yes.
Hey, Masks.
Yes.
I didn't show you, but I got a superpower.
What's your superpower?
Yeah, you know, like the Mario superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna blip right out of here. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh. You can hear the music.
Super. Watch me run.
And he's gone. And we're gone. Don't forget you're important.
Oh, that's a crit. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a miss, Lindsay. Don't get crit. Don't get critted. Oh, you're still hanging in there. Good hit. I could miss here. Oh, that's a big miss. Oh, that's a big miss. That's a big miss again. Shit. Is Lindsay going to do it? Oh, another miss. 4 misses in a row.